Hello and welcome to another interesting edition of your favorite show on television, Sports Vision 360 right here on Wonderland Television, WTV. I'm Donald Agbabobo. As usual, we have quite a lot for you, a lot to talk about, as you're well aware, or some of you may be, that the list of players that will play for the Super Eagles in the upcoming international friendly matches between Nigeria and Ghana, and of course Mali have been released. We shall be dissecting that list to see who is involved and who is supposed to be there, that is not there, or who is there that is not supposed to be there. 7 new players that were not part of the team to AFCON will be included. Probably this is a sign that the NFF is looking forward. I wouldn't say the Super Eagles coach because we don't have a substantive coach for now. So probably the NFF is looking forward towards actually injecting new blood into the team after the AFCON. We shall also be looking at the All-African Games where Nigeria is beginning to pick up the pace after a slow start. A lot of medals were won yesterday, especially in female freestyle wrestling. The likes of Dunayo Adeokodoye were part of it, were on top of the podium as they won gold in their various events. So I'm talking about 6 of them came up with gold medals. So 6 gold medals in women wrestling. It's a very big achievement, I must tell you, to add to the one won by badminton. So we shall be giving the total breakdown in the course of the show. Also, latest from Nigerian Premier Football League, where some interesting results. Niger Tornadoes went all the way to Yenagoa to pick up a win against Bayelsa United. Nigerian League is really hotting up. So, you can get your results anyway. Kwara United went to Enugu to play a 0-0 draw with Enugu Rangers. So that tells you that things are no longer as it used to be in Nigerian League. Plus, of course, the big one from the English Premier League over the weekend. Manchester City versus Liverpool. How did it pan out? How did you see it? A lot of controversy, a lot of intrigues. But we shall also be dissecting it in the course of the show. So these are more we have for you. Sit back and enjoy yourself as we talk you through all of these interesting stories. And to do that for us is no other than Austin Arume. Austin, it is good to have you on the show.
Yeah, I think I'm excited. I'm excited to be here, brother. And so a lot actually happened over the weekend, and I can't actually wait to start talking about them. More especially in the English Premier League, and we also have to talk about the All African game as well, where Nigeria is beginning to actually pick up medals. So interesting one coming from the All African games for Nigeria.
Well, that's a good one. We shall set sail officially after this short break, and just stay with us. Welcome back. It's still Sports Vision 360 right here on Wonderland Television, WTV. We'll start with the All-African Games because we should celebrate our heroines, if you ask me, because these ladies actually, they are written their names in gold in wrestling. Women freestyle wrestling, we have the likes of Mercy Genesis, who picked up the gold medal in the 50 kg. She beat Egyptian counterpart Nada Mohammed 7-0 to win the gold. No, when I saw it was an Egyptian she beat.
Yeah.
My mind went to the table tennis. When Edem lost to an Egyptian,
yeah.
I said, "Oh, fine, paying back their own coin." Anyway,
and even I don't know, Quadri as well lost in the final.
At an Egyptian. So somehow we're paying them back in wrestling.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just on the lighter mode.
Yeah.
Well, Mercy Genesis won the gold medal in 50 kilogram freestyle. Christina Ogonsaya also won the gold medal in 53 kilograms. Why the big one? Odunayo Adeokodoye. Yeah. This lady has been there. Yeah. Going to the last Olympic Games,
yeah.
There was high hopes of her winning a medal, but something just went wrong. I think she was disqualified. Yeah. Something happened and she just did not click for her.
Yeah.
But good enough. Blessing Oboro Dudu, who also won gold medal in the 68 kg, won the bronze medal at the Olympic Games. But the biggest medal prospect going to Olympics was Odunayo, and she has shown that she's still up there as we look ahead to Paris. So, good one for the ladies.
Yeah, definitely a good one. And, wrestling has proven to be, one of those areas where, you think about, Nigeria having high hopes of winning medals. You know, it has always been there, right from time. I remember
Are
where
you sure it's always been there?
it's always been there. I
Because
think as far as
it has taken Igali,
as
to come in.
far
Fine,
back
it's been
as
there.
I
The
can
potential has been
remember,
there,
as,
but not
as
been
far,
able to harness it
yeah,
to the level we are harnessing it now.
yeah, definitely. I think as far back as I can remember, I remember I was being on a show and we're talking about, I think it was, preview to the Olympics, and we're talking about Nigeria's medal prospect. And a lot of them were actually from wrestling. We did talk about, Odunayo, we talked about
Blessing
Ojuju, and there was also, I think, a certain wrestler. I'm trying to remember as well. So we listed these guys as potential guys that will win medal for
But they are
Nigeria.
all Daniel Igali's protege.
Yeah.
Because since he came in, the development programs he started, the different tournaments he's
Yeah.
been having, most especially in Bayelsa, have actually unnit this talent
Yeah,
for us.
yeah.
And so whether we like it or not, we have to give credit to Daniel Igali, who is the president of the Nigerian Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, I think what he's done a very, very good job. And if you look at it's not just being the president. You know, if you look at the way he relates with the wrestlers, they have this.
Because he
they
was
have-
a wrestler. He won gold medal in Olympics
Yeah.
for Canada.
Yeah,
So he knows what he. So again, just digress a bit.
yeah.
Does this mean that probably if you're looking at an ex footballer being chairman of NFF, would that pay us more? Because look at what's happening in wrestling.
Yeah, I think sometimes it doesn't really work well that way. It's actually
Doesn't
varies.
follow.
So
Yeah.
it depends on the personality. It depends on even the sports in question. Sometimes you need someone who is a thorough administrator
Yes, I
to
agree
be
with
in
you.
charge.
Look
And
at what's
sometimes
happening in basketball.
yeah,
Former basketballers,
Yeah.
maybe some of them may not have played to the highest level, but
Yeah.
played basketball, and then look at the controversies we're having there.
yeah,
And it just portrays this fact you just said that it doesn't always follow. So
Yeah.
bottom line is that it depends on the individual.
yeah.
Individual actually. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily whether you were an ex-athlete of that particular event
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah, definitely. Just like I said, it depends on the individuals, and sometimes you must not actually have to play the sport before you can actually do well as an administrator in
Okay,
that sport.
Austin, we have a lot to talk today, so let us not dwell too much on this before our producer starts giving us signal that we should wrap up. Also, we won gold. Nigeria won gold in badminton.
Yeah.
Ono Luapo Opeyori won the gold medal. Incidentally, he beat another Nigerian in the finals, Godwin Olofua. So Nigeria won gold and silver,
Yeah.
and the two of them are playing the finals of the doubles event. So the likelihood that Nigeria will also win gold there is there.
Yeah.
So for now, we're beginning to work out well. From at some point we were sixth on the medals table.
Yeah.
We're fourth. As of the time we are on air right now, we have 7 gold medals, 6 silver,
Yeah.
and 9 bronze. I know that it will increase
Definitely increase.
before the day runs up. A
Yeah.
lot of finals are coming up with Nigerians are involved with. So kudos to the guys out there. Also for the footballers, they should brace up. The Flying Eagles lost their first match
First
to
match,
Uganda.
yeah.
They play against South Sudan, I think, today.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll get a win. So much about the All African Games. Quickly, let's look at the Nigerian Premier Football League as we talk football. Let's start from home. Good results over the weekend. Let me just reel out the results from last weekend. We have Bayelsa United lost at home to Niger Tornadoes, like I said earlier, by 1-0.
Yeah.
Shooting Stars, Sporting Lagos, Pumed Remo Stars 4-1. That was the Southwest Derby. Shooting Stars beat Aqua United 3-0.
Yeah.
Eyimba bounced back from their 3-1 loss to Aqua United to beat Doma 1-0. Then Chidoko Mboma,
Yeah.
top scorer on the list, scored the goal. So very consistent.
Yeah.
Enugu Rangers, like I said earlier, also played at the 0-0 Aqua United. Well, a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah.
They've been beating people away in recent times now, although they were able to get a draw. So it's all good. It's all good for the league.
Yeah.
Abia Warriors and Lobby Stars also played a 1-1 draw. Lobby Stars getting an away point there. And Plateau United, Sunshine Stars beat Plateau United by 3-1.
Yeah.
Rivers United have not been able to replicate their continental form on the home front rather.
Yeah.
And they played a 1-1 draw at home to Kano Pillars, while Katsina United and Atlant also played a 1-1 draw. So good results for Nigerian League, and things are getting better.
Yeah, I think it's actually beginning. The league is beginning to shape up. You're looking at the results right there. It shows where we are, in terms of the way the teams in the league are playing. I think we've always talked about it in the past. It's always very very difficult, to get the results away from home. I mean, in this particular week, game week, we had like two away wins. Sunshine Stars beating Plateau United. Plateau United, it's always a very very difficult game, away from home, and you can actually say that Sunshine Stars, for me, I believe that they're on course to get the continental ticket. I think they have Kennedy Boboye as their coach, and he's a seasoned and a proven coach as far as the NPFL is concerned. So a wonderful one. You also have to look at Rivers United and Kano Pillars as well. For me, it's actually meant to be like one of those big derbies. When you're looking at England, you talk about right now Manchester City and Liverpool. We're going to talk about them later, and we also have to look at Spain, Real Madrid, and Barcelona. Then in Nigeria, have quite a couple of them. A couple of these derby. We also have to look at Rivers United and Kano Pillars as one derby to look out for each time the fixture is actually being played.
Yes, indeed. Well, Nigerian Premier, I'm still not used to it. Nigerian Premier Football League.
Yeah.
It's still NPFL.
Yeah.
It used to be professional football. It's now Premier. So I
Football.
always end up calling professional football league. But then it's Nigerian Premier Football League, and it's really, really getting interesting, I must tell you. And the results are coming thick and fast, and showing a lot of improvement in terms of officiating.
Yeah.
A lot of improvement, because away teams going to get even a draw. It used to be difficult, but now it appears that we're having a very, very much level playing field. That's every team, as long as you do very well, you're capable of picking the result. We'll take a break now. When we return, more for you on Sports Vision 360. Stay with us. Welcome back to Sport Vision 360 right here on Wonderland Television. From the Nigerian Premier Football League, we're moving on to Europe and to catch up with the latest happenings. And you must agree with me that it was a very busy weekend, interesting weekend of football action. We'll start from the English Premier League, and no other place to start than from Anfield, where the biggest match of the weekend in all of Europe took place. Liverpool versus Man City. I don't think any match as of now is bigger than that, because on current, you may talk about Barcelona, Real Madrid, El Clasico, but on current form, you can't. These two teams happen to be, I must tell you, up there amongst the best in Europe. So it happened in at Anfield, and it was 1-1 at the end of the day. But there are a lot of intrigues, a lot of talking points in this match. Some people are talking about the fact that Man City have never appeared so vulnerable the way they saw them against Liverpool.
Yeah.
While others are saying that Man City kept to tradition that they're not easy pushovers at any point in time. So depends on the side of the divide you belong to. For you, what's your take of the match?
Well, I think first of all, I would say I will actually be on the side of those that actually said Man City keeping to that tradition by not losing in that game. I feel like Manchester City will be the happier of the two teams in terms of that result they got from that particular game, because I believe that if they had lost that game, it would have been a very very difficult one to actually catch up with Liverpool. It would have been 4 points behind Liverpool, and you know what that means. The way Liverpool are playing at the moment. Even before that game, I think I listened to I've forgotten. Someone was talking about it. He said that if Liverpool actually finish that match against Manchester City and they are 4 points above City, that City should definitely forget about the league because the way they are playing this season, I feel like they look more vulnerable this season than they've ever looked all this while under
Did you
Pep
see that
Guardiola.
vulnerability yesterday? Was it on display? Was it a match that they were at their best, or you saw a Liverpool team dominating?
Well, I think it was more of Liverpool forcing them to actually make most of those errors. You're looking at Man City, irrespective of the fact that we talked about the fact that they look vulnerable, but then they have the knack for grinding out results. We've seen them in recent matches. Even though it was against Bournemouth, it was a 1-0 win for them against Brentford, a 1-0 result for Manchester City. This is not something we are accustomed to, when it comes to this
Well, they have
point
been in
of the
the
season.
fascinating form
Yeah.
coming to this match. I
Yeah.
think they've been on a winning run of about 7 matches or thereabout.
Yeah.
Anyway, where does this leave the Premier League title race? Is it more open than before now?
Yeah.
Arsenal are topping, though just on goals different. There's still not that separation. They're still close. 3 teams, talking about Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester City. So is the race still as open, or with this match out of the way, given the fact that Man City will play Arsenal next, and you see an opening where we will see probably this separation?
Well, I believe that the league is actually as open as ever. When you look at the situation, I think we talked about it right here on the show. The fact that ever since Pep started coaching Manchester City, it's always been Manchester City against one other particular team, either Liverpool or sometimes, I think last season it was Arsenal. Previously it was Liverpool. I think 3 seasons in a row it was between Manchester City and Liverpool. But this season is actually quite different. Manchester City has one more team to worry about, which is Arsenal. With Arsenal and Liverpool, in the title race, it's actually something that we've never seen
I think
in
probably
recent
that's
times.
why, despite the 1-1 draw,
Yeah.
Pep did not appear too happy.
Yeah.
Because whether I like it or not, it's still close. 1 point different. They are third on the table. That's not the position they are used to.
Yeah.
At this point, they should be leading and have their faith. They still don't have their faith in their hands.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
Yeah.
So they'll still be counting on other teams to drop points for them
Yeah.
to. So they want to have their faith in their hands, and that's what they want. Anyway, we saw an explosive encounter yesterday. We couldn't have asked for anything more or less than what we saw. Both teams actually gave us something to savour for a long time to come. So
Yeah.
kudos to both sides. Both managers show once again they are top notch, and they so unfortunate that Jurgen Klopp will be leaving at the end of the season, so we'll not have the opportunity of seeing this rivalry next year. But who says the person replacing him will not even be more fiery than Jurgen Klopp? We'll just keep our fingers crossed on that. Other matches of the weekend saw Arsenal beat Brentford. They struggled to beat Brentford by 2-1. The high scoring Arsenal the last couple of weeks. Suddenly they are finally against Brentford. Does this show that probably it's catching up, talking about fatigue, because you cannot be on that roller coaster that high consecutively for weeks on. Somehow, sometimes, because these are players, they are not machines actually.
Yeah, definitely.
But the good thing is that they are still able to grind out the result.
Yeah, I think it's a hallmark of a championship winning team. It shows that they are actually quite they're serious about winning the league this season. Last season we talked about the fact that they were on top of the table for a large period of time, as far as the league is concerned, but at the end of the day they capitulated. But this season they've shown.
Let's see how far they can go.
Let's see how far
Other
they can
interesting results saw Tottenham Pummel Aston Villa at Villa Park 4-0.
Yeah.
Then Man United beat Everton at Goodison Park. Probably the interesting part will be at the other end, the race for top 4. Not even winning the league.
Yeah.
Those ones are doing their own at the top. The other teams vying for the last top 4 position.
Yeah.
Probably that's where the interesting drama will play out.
Yeah.
We'll keep our fingers crossed. And so much to talk about, so much to savour. We have about 9-7 matches left of the season. So it just goes to tell you that this one is going to the wire, both for the title race and also for the top 4 race. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed. We'll go on another short break. When we return, we'll talk about the Super Eagles, the list that was released over the weekend as the Super Eagles get set for another round of international friendly matches against Ghana and Mali. Stay with us. Welcome back. Still Sport Vision 360 right here on Wonderland Television. Surprisingly for me, I just saw that on the platform for the Super Eagles platform that that's journalists are. There was this list sent in. So I said, what's going on? Because I actually wasn't too much aware that a list was going to come up. But that was on Friday. List of players were made available that will play the upcoming friendly matches between Ghana and Mali. Not too much different from the team that played in the AFCON, but just about 7 new players. Interestingly, Gabriel Osho of Luton Town has been invited. I was actually looking at him because he's a Nigerian, so he should come and also fight for a place in the team. Gabriel Osho, very interesting. And then the most interesting is Benjamin Tanimu. He plays in Tanzania. Yafu Football Club of Tanzania. That guy must be very, very good. Honestly, it must be extremely good for him to have been invited all the way from Tanzania. But then, one of the new players in the team, Wilfred Ndidi is returning. I'm talking about players that were not a part of AFCON.
Yeah.
Wilfred Ndidi has returned to the team. And of course, we also have Fisayo Dele Bashiru. He played in one of the friendly matches. He's back.
Yeah.
Then Nathan Taylor is back.
Yeah.
Silu Desas is back. Sadikuma is back after Mr. Nations Cup. Even Taiwan Wuni is back. So, a loaded house. So, who is not there from Nations Cup? Maybe Truce Ekong due to injury. He's not there. Then Alaina is not there. Injury at all.
Yeah.
Zaidu Sanusi is not there due to injury. He's not there. And Onuachutu, injury.
Yeah.
Ahmed Musa. Then the biggest one, Samuel Chukwueze. Is this a sign that he's really, really down the pecking order? Is this a sign that probably saying that he's not in good form?
Yeah.
And the Nations Cup, it was blowing hot and cold. Today we'll do well, next day. Is this final seal on the fact that he needs to get back to his best?
Yeah, definitely. I feel so. I believe that he's not having the best of time. Presently with this club, AC Milan. You
expected that after moving from Villarreal to big club, he would step up his game.
Yeah.
How come it's not working out? Is it that the expectation is weighing too much on him?
Well, probably. I feel like AC Milan and Villarreal are two teams with different playing styles. I believe that he's not been able to actually get acclimatized to the.
What's the quick fix? Because we know that Chukwueze is a good player every day. Is it to leave Milan? Probably even to go on loan.
Yeah.
Then because what I'm saying is because the criticism, not even back home.
Yeah.
In Milan.
In Milan, yeah.
Milan is not doing too badly, but they are always singling him out for criticism.
Yeah.
And probably he needs a break from that environment because if you're playing in a toxic environment, sorry for using that word, maybe harsh, but when you're always being criticized, it means that people around you, the fans and opinion makers around Milan, are not happy with his performance. And it affects you whether you like it. Because those are people that form opinions and make that people listen to what they say.
Yeah.
I'm saying this because of what happened to Calvin Bassey at Ajax.
Yeah.
Calvin Bassey was blamed for every bad thing that happened to Ajax last season.
Yeah. I think
he was blamed. Now look at Kevin Bassey. He has gone to Fulham. We saw how massive he was in the Nations Cup, and he scored against Manchester. The guy is playing at his best. So the environment, if you're not given the environment to operate, the level playing field, there's not much you can do. And I see the same thing happening to Chukwueze.
Yeah.
Maybe it's taking time to settle down, but if you're not being given the opportunity to settle down, given that space to weather the storm, come out, it's very difficult.
I think the problem with Chukwueze, just like you said, is actually quite similar to what happened to Bassey. I think when Ajax signed Bassey, because of his performance in the final of that Europa League, they were expecting him to actually join the team and bed immediately with the team. That didn't happen, and there was actually a lot of frustration. And just like in everything, whenever anything goes wrong, they are always looking for who
Or is it
to
because of
blame.
the big money that was paid?
Yeah,
Like case of Basel about 23 million, case of Chile 20 million.
I believe.
So is it that you're saying that it's not because if they are bought him for 5 million, I'm not sure they'll be complaining.
Well, I believe that just like Pasi, when Milan signed Chukwueze, they had high hopes that he's going to come in and be like the
Okay,
messiah
well,
for the
let's
team.
not dwell too much on Chukwueze because this list contains more than Chukwueze's
Yeah.
issue. So the Benjamin Tanimo from Tanzania,
Yeah.
I'm sure you know about him.
No, I've never heard of Benjamin anymore. This is actually the first
That's a
time.
mystery.
Yeah.
In fact, that's why I'm very curious.
Yeah,
In
so-
fact, I would like to see him because he must be very good.
Yeah.
Come from Tanzania. But something tells me, is it also a likelihood? Is there a likelihood that I don't want to say it on air, but it's possible that we know that the only link that we've had with Tanzania is Amunike.
Amunike, yeah.
And Amunike is in the running for the coach.
Yeah.
Probably is this Amunike's list? I'm not saying anything. I'm just presuming. I'm just trying to close add one or two together. But it may be, it may not be.
Yeah.
But even if it is, that means he knows him for him to invite it.
Yeah,
That even if it is his own, he has input in it.
Yeah.
And also it tells us that probably is the well, understand they are talking with the Argentinian coach.
Yeah.
And everybody, all finger are pointing towards him. Probably that this fact that Benjamin Tanimo was invited from Tanzania has given it away that Amunike may be the next Super Eagles coach.
Well, you
I'm
can't
not
say.
saying anything,
You can't
but-
actually
But
say.
if it happens, just know that you edit here for me first, because I'm just doing some permutations. Anyway, he's a good coach.
Yeah.
So if you end up being my coach, it's a person, it's the name everybody are not talking about.
Yeah.
So, but then, a Benjamin Tanimo coming to Super Eagles team, like I said, must be very, very good.
I think when you're talking about inviting players into the national team, it always has to be the best of the best because that they have over 1 million players, Nigerian players scattered all over the world. So if you are inviting a particular player, that player has to be really, really good. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed. Let's see what's going to happen.
About Gabriel Osho.
Yeah.
He's played very well in Premier League this season.
Yeah.
So we have a Premier League defender. He'll be playing for us.
Yeah.
And of course, Wilfred Ndidi too. I just feel that he was the missing link in the Nations Cup.
Yeah, definitely.
Onyeka, because since Onyeka has proven now that he can really hold his own, no, we never really had belief in him for Nations Cup.
Yeah.
He could, even when Ndidi is not playing, we hardly even resort to him. But this Nations Cup, he established himself as someone that we can depend on.
Yeah.
With Onyeka and Ndidi in that midfield,
Yeah.
with the kind of pattern we played, it would have been much more. No, we're criticizing Iwobi, that his defending wasn't too good.
Yeah.
But you cannot criticize Iwobi. Iwobi plays on the right or the left at Fulham.
Yeah.
That's where he's at. What the way he plays for Fulham is very effective. Rafael Silva was what signed him. I don't know, for
Everton, yeah.
So he knows the person is signed, and when he's playing from the right or left side of the midfield, he's very effective. That central midfield role we're asking him to play for the Super Eagles, maybe it's a bit too difficult, but we should have to revisit it. So with Wilfred Ndidi, that's already playing that role, advanced midfield for Leicester this season.
Yeah.
But Onyeka now sitting deep as a good holding midfielder. Probably the right mix in the midfield, finally getting it.
Yeah, definitely. I believe that if Ndidi was to be at the Nations Cup, probably maybe that final would have had a different feel or a different turn of event at the end of the day. But then you can't actually turn back the hands of time.
Well, indeed, a good list if you ask me. At the end of the day, what is your opinion of this list?
Well,
is it a progressive one showing us that we are thinking of the future?
Well,
is it progressive one or?
I would say maybe progressive, but I feel like probably because of that performance of the Super Eagles at the Nations Cup, I feel like we're going to have more Nigerian players try to switch and play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So I feel like in subsequent lists we're going to see more new players. So
we don't have much time, but we have South Africa qualifier in June. So we hope that the team will be ready before then. This is where we wrap it up on the show today, and we hope you had a nice time with us. We don't always have too much time to turn on some of these issues. We have our producer, it's like Sergeant Major. When he tells you, time, you must move. So I want to thank you for keeping us on our toes. I'm talking about Kefas, and of course the other production team members, Sandra and the rest. And also my analysts, Austin Arume, thank you for being part of the show. I'm Donald Agwababo. If you have enjoyed your time with us, like I always say, let's do it again next time. Enjoy the rest of the day.